see, we've got a research terminal we can hack. We've got security console we can open, and we've got several security consoles. Okay, let's maybe start with the hack. This is the one that I'm bad at. Part of me feels like we saved before the hack, because I mean, that's how much I trust my hacking abilities here. Let's see, so we want... That almost set us up for an immediate fail. That would have been very, very mean. Let's see, then we go with the one with the little bit on the right, which I'm currently not seeing. Here it is. Then we need the blue in the middle. Not this, it's this. There we go. Ooh, that was close. That was close.
I'll take it.
That's biotic damage. Okay, so that is not just credits. We will absolutely take the biotic damage. And that is fitting that we're getting several biotic-themed things here on Jack's loyalty mission. Both that upgrade there for the biotic damage and the EZO we got earlier, which tends to be the resource you're using for any biotics-related upgrades at the research station. So we've got these security consoles and the power cells. I suppose grab this while we're at it. We don't need it, so we get the credits. And what is the deal here?
Entry 1054, Telton Facility. The latest iteration of Pergnum went poorly. Subjects 1, 4, and 6 died. No biotic change among the survivors. We lowered core temperatures of surviving subjects, but no biotically beneficial reactions occurred. As a side effect, all subjects died.
Oh.
So we'll not try that on Zero. I hope our supply of biotic potential subjects holds up. We are going through them fast.
This is bullshit. They weren't experimenting on the other children for my safety.
I mean, what it sounds like, based on that description, is that basically they had all of their test subjects, other biotic, I assume humans, that they were experimenting on with various different methods, and then only when they were confident that those methods would not proceed to kill someone, and that the methods would actually somehow, I suppose, enhance their biotic abilities, seems like that was what their objective was, only then would they use those techniques on Jack. So Jack kind of got preferential treatment in that way. You know, she wasn't exposed to the most dangerous things, and she only got exposed to the things that worked. So, I mean, I know Jack very much feels like she was the victim here, and I mean, in many ways, of course, she was still a prisoner that got tortured. Yes, maybe not the prisoner that got tortured the most, or in the worst ways, which is a little bit hard for her to come to terms with here, but don't blame yourself.
You can't help what they did to others.
You don't get it, Shepard. I survived this place because I was tougher than the rest. That's who I am.
Yeah, and so in some ways it's a threat to her own identity, right? Where she sees herself as this survivor of this terrible atrocity, and to hear suddenly that they were doing these things to try to protect her, or at least make this not as dangerous of a situation for her, is suddenly in conflict with this thing that she holds at, you know, the center of her self-identity.
You move on, harder and tougher.
Alright. Well, hopefully we can, you know, give Jack a little more resolve. See, and we've got another security console here, so I don't know if that's the same thing as we saw here. No, it looks like this one is no longer accessible, so that leads me to believe this is perhaps something entirely different.
It's all fallen to pieces. The subjects are rampaging and Zero is loose. We're shutting Telton down. What a disaster. We'll infiltrate and piggyback onto the Alliance's Ascension program.
Excuse me?
That will give... Oh, what? Zero, wait!
Shepard, they started up somewhere else.
Ascension is an alliance program. It's a school for biotic kids. They don't torture children there.
A lot of this isn't the way I remember it.
Yeah, it does sound like Jack's perception of what happened here is very warped by her emotions. I mean, she was going through all these traumatic experiences, and understandable how, when she's thinking back on them, all she can remember is how terrible the entire experience was. And so, again, to hear all these things that are saying that, you know, maybe it wasn't quite as terrible, at least for Jack specifically, is just completely inconsistent with what she thought she experienced, and so very confusing for her to hear all these things. But, I mean, given how she was drugged regularly, apparently, and all the things that were going on, understandable that she was distracted and couldn't really look at this with an objective set of eyes.
There was a lot going on.
I was dumb. I keep my eyes open now, and I always shoot first. We're getting close to my cell, the place I came from. Let's keep going.
All right. Let's see. I think that's everything in this room here. Let's just do a quick round. I believe so. We nabbed the power cells as well. Okay, let's save before we head on through here. Because we got friends. A whole lot of friends.
Hey, Aresh. It's Kurek. Yeah, the intruders are here. You want them dead? We have to talk creds. You promised us lots of salvage, but this place is a waste. Fine, put them down. Then I'm coming in there and we're gonna talk salvage.
Say, before you run over here and try to smash our faces into the concrete, why are you here?
What are you doing here?
First, we're gonna kill you. Then we'll see.
Oh. Okay.
Kill them all.
So, let's take stock here real quick. Looks like, yeah, a blood pack pyro. So that looks like a pretty dangerous threat here. We're going to want to try to get rid of this as quickly as possible. We've got a normal blood pack trooper. Not as much of a threat, but it does seem as though these guys are sort of on this lower level. They're closer to us, and then back here we've got Kurek, which looks like he's going to be the most dangerous enemy here, or at least the tankiest of enemies, because he has barriers, armor, and health. So at least at the moment, it looks like he's kind of hiding back here, or a little bit behind cover, and so may not be as much of an immediate threat. So I think that means top priority will be this pyro. Then once we get rid of this, we'll see if we need to shift to this blood pack trooper, or if these Krogan, because it looks like I think there are more behind him, see if they start to rush us down. In terms of where we want to be, looks like this door did close behind us, so I don't think we have the option of retreating any further back. We do have some cover here. Can they... Ooh. Is that a walkway over there? Can they flank us all the way around here? That makes me a little hesitant to set up shop where we're currently standing, although obviously it is the most easily accessible of cover. So perhaps we do, at least for the moment, stick with this. We already got rid of that. Pyro's armor, that's impressive. We overload, it should explode. Okay, so that was quick. So that's good. Looks like the Krogan are still certainly hanging out up here. So perhaps that means now we go for this guy. Oh, they've got some kind of heavy weaponry there. Is that a biotics, actually? First I thought that was a missile, but Urek may actually be attacking with some kind of biotics. Okay, so this trooper no longer has defenses. That means we can use pull on him. So that's good. Then once Miranda is off cooldown, we can use warp, assuming this guy is still in the air, and proceed to, well, make him go boom. In the meantime, why don't we reeve Urek? Waiting for... Okay, no, they definitely do have missiles. They definitely do have missiles. But that, I'm pretty sure, hit the wall in front of us. Yeah, it did hit the cover. So, will attempt number 2? Question mark? Or even shockwave him? Let's try that. Knock him back. And then... I mean, we could read him, I suppose. Basically just bullying this blood pack trooper. But we are taking a little bit of time here. So we might just want to be a little bit quicker. Because now we can focus more fully on Kurek and the Krogan back here. Again, I feel like they may technically be able to flank us, at least to the left here, possibly to the right as well, although I can't tell, that might be blocked. So, I think for now we're fine here, but if they do start to make moves, then we're going to want to run around a lot more. So let's focus on... we try to get Kurek. He is definitely the tankiest because he has all those layers of defenses. Or do we instead try to get rid of somebody who might be a little bit faster to dispose of? That might actually be preferable. Oh, did he duck behind cover right as I was using that reeve? I think he did. How dare he? How dare he? I mean, Turek is out in the open, whereas the others are not, so at least he's certainly an easier target right now. Okay, so barriers are down. Matic is our best weapon against armor. Okay, now his armor's down, so he is currently defenseless. That does mean that, I mean, if he's out in the open, we can read him again, and that should shut down his health regeneration, but it also means that Jack should be able to pull him. It is generally less effective against Krogan, but we can combine that with the warp for the explosion I was talking about, so that's the combo we're looking for. So that means the biggest of enemies is now gone. We now just have the regular Bloodpack Warriors, but I think they might have been the ones that were shooting the missiles at us before. So there are no pushovers. Okay. We do have the defenses taken care of here. So once again, like, if you just duck out, I don't like how much you're hanging out in cover here. So not sure if we can hit you with a pole here. Not certain. Let's try. Did that hit you? I don't think it did. I don't think it did. Maybe just barely hit you with the Matic, at least when you poke your head out like that. Okay, Miranda was able to hit with the warp. Alright, the incendiary ammo damage over time finishes him off. Now we have you. Please stop doing that. Okay, now look. He does appear to be coming around here on the right flank. So, is he making moves? He is. He definitely is. So with just one of them, I'm not as concerned, but we may need to relocate. See if we can get the warp, though. And we can weaken him quite a bit. Now we can pull him. And we can reave him. And he should be just about dead. I believe that may be the last of them.
Left is my old cell. Whoever Aresh is, he's in there. I want to plant the bomb there anyway. Might as well do it on his corpse.
Oh. Okay. So let's take a little look around here for a second. So yeah, this was the area I was concerned about, was the Krogan coming out from back there, looping around and flanking us right here. We didn't really see that happen at all. Instead, what we saw was... See, we've got a secure container here. We'll definitely bypass that in just a second. But what we saw instead was the Krogan just were hanging out back here, and eventually, once there was only one left, they started flanking on that side where our friends were, and, you know, we had plenty of time when there was only one of them to deal with that Krogan, so it wasn't a big issue. Let's see. This bypass, we've got you. Oh. You, and then you. Alright, 3,000 credits there. Very nice. I believe we are on full ammo here, so that's good. Then, other than that... Let us see. Don't think there's much else over here other than, as Jack was just saying, apparently, the only remaining room is, well, Jack's cell. So, talk about triggering places, triggering moments. This has got to be top on that list. So maybe we save. Guessing this hallway is not it. I'm guessing it's the other side of this hallway through this door.
Come out. We know you're here.
Who are you?
My name is Aresh, and you're breaking into my home. I know you, Subject Zero. So many years have passed, and I thought I was the only survivor.
My name is Jack. How the hell do you know me?
We all knew your face, Jack. They inflicted horrors on us so their experiments wouldn't kill you.
Yeah,
You
that's
were the
what we were
question,
hearing.
And I'm still looking for the answer.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, that's what we were hearing, was that everyone else was tortured, experimented on indiscriminately, whereas they specifically made sure that they only used the techniques that they were confident wouldn't kill someone on Jack, because Jack does appear to have been their #1 priority. But it does also seem like this Aresh guy was drawn back here, much like Jack thought that Aresh thought he was the only person who survived. Apparently didn't know that Jack escaped.
Looks like you're not the only one pulled back here, Jack.
I tried to forget this, but a place like this, it doesn't forget you. It follows you. I hired these mercs and came back almost a solar year ago. We're rebuilding it piece by piece.
Why?
I'm gonna find out what they knew, how to unlock true biotic potential in humans. I'm restarting the Telton facility. It will be beautiful.
I wanted a hole in the ground. He's trying to justify what happened by using it?
Does seem like some very strange logic. I mean, I suppose in some ways, his idea is that, you know, if we went through all the struggle, all the torture for these experiments, then Aresh wants to make sure that they at least get something out of it. But, at the same time, are you willing to continue to use those same techniques, the same types of torture and human experimentation that scarred you and Jack for your, basically what seems to be, the rest of your lives? Are you willing to do that just in the name of perhaps some potential scientific advancement?
You do the same thing to new kids? Wasn't this forced on you?
Some were bought from poor families on Earth or kidnapped from colonies. Most ended up here the way I did. Batarian pirates. They did such horrible things to us. They must have had good reasons.
There's no reason good enough.
Yeah, maybe
Are you
not.
Nuts? You lived it.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem really odd. Does seem really odd. Then again, I mean, we thought that Jack was the only person who had escaped and survived, so how did you get out of here exactly?
This place was like a prison. How did you get out?
We all attacked at once as they were taking us to the lab. They would have put us down. But then Jack got loose. When I came to, it was over. The guards, the scientists, and the kids were all dead. And you were gone.
I stopped it. All of it. Maybe the others did have it bad, but what you're doing is just messed.
Everything we went through must have been worth something.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of torture for some unexplained, unknown potential outcome that you just don't understand. So, yeah, I think I'm definitely siding with Jack here.
We can blow up the place, but that still leaves him. What do we do with another you?
That's easy.
Just leave me here. This is where I belong.
Fuck that.
Whoa, hold on.
Jack, he's trapped in his past. You need to move on from yours.
He wants to restart this place. He needs to die.
He's crazy, and he's never gonna restart this facility. You have to let it go. Your past doesn't have to control you.
Fuck. Get out of here. Go. He's not worth chasing. None of it is.
All right. Whew. Just, you know, little quick act of aggression there from Jack. Just had to take a second. Calm her down. All right, you know, we may not agree with this guy, but it doesn't mean we need to murder him.
You
Good
did
work.
the right thing, Jack.
Maybe. This room was my whole childhood. Give me a minute to look around.
Okay. Take your time.
Go ahead.
Nothing's changed, but it's all different.
Let's see. We get a ton of Paragon points for that. Of course, that was, I did it really quickly, but that was a dialogue option that we could only do if we had sufficient Paragon points. There was also an Intimidate one. I don't think we had enough Intimidate to do it. It wasn't timed, but, you know, it felt as if it was almost like one of the reactions, even if it technically was not. Let's see, we can talk about the two-way mirror. We saw the other side, yeah, and now we can see where we came in from. And so Jack was saying she could see through here, and she was, you know, howling through the window, telling people to come get her out or something like that, but they never responded, and that was because, well, to them, it is not a window, it is a mirror they could not see in.
I thought that room out there was the rest of the world. I'd pound and yell. Never did any good.
Also, compare this room, what we saw previously, in the other cells. The other cells were a fraction the size of this, and they had 2 people in them, whereas Jack's room, considerably larger, and I believe was just her. See, we can also talk about the bed.
Sometimes I dream that I'm back in this bed being tortured. I used to tie the sheets around my wrists and try to rip them off. I want to stop coming back here.
I think she doesn't mean that physically as much as she means that mentally. Just something keeps on taking her mind back to that place. Then we have the table.
I used this table for everything. It was like my best friend. I'd crawl under it to cry. I was pathetic.
I mean, not really if you're getting tortured on the regular and you've been imprisoned your entire life. You know, that's kind of understandable, to tell you the truth. Let's see, is there anything else that we can investigate here? It does look like there's just the room we came in through. It is. We can talk about the blood smear on the wall, though.
See the scarring on the wall here? That's where I killed my first man.
Oh.
One of the guards tried to stop me. Instead, I stopped him. Okay, no more wallowing. Let's blow this place to hell.
Okay. Tattoos on her hands say death as well. Oh! So yeah, I think that'll definitely do the trick. I was kind of thinking the explosion would be a little bit smaller than that. But there you have it. Mission complete. Facility on Pragia confirmed destroyed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is no more after all that. I mean, that guy that we technically tried to allow to flee, you know, I'm not sure he got out of the radius of that explosion quickly enough because it was huge. So, concerned that previous cleanup crew failed to destroy all records. That is your first concern? Surviving facility scientists already dead, either from uprising or after facility shutdown. Jack should have no further emotional issues distracting her from the mission. So, as she was saying there, she had been distracted. You know, her mind kept on going back to this place, and especially because, remember, that was run by Cerberus. Technically sounded like a bit of a rogue operation at Cerberus, but Cerberus nonetheless. And so for her to be working for Cerberus must have been really, really a strange experience for her. So trying to get some clarity as to what happened and find a way to put that in the past, I think, will definitely help. We gained 750 experience. It is not enough for us to level. Remember that loyalty missions give us 750, whereas it takes 1,000 to level up, so it just didn't quite add up there. Whereas recruitment missions have been 1,000, so we're probably very close to leveling, but not there just yet. We've unlocked Jack's warp ammo power. That is one of the reasons why we wanted to do this as soon as we did, was because, as we were saying, Jack is not the most helpful of teammates on higher difficulties, at least not until we unlock this warp ammo, which will really be, when we do choose to use her, the primary reason for choosing to use her, because it transforms absorbed biotic energy into heavier damage against health, armor, and biotic barriers. So, barriers being the key thing there, it is the best ammo against barriers, and that has, at least in the past, been the type of defense that we've had the most struggles against. So having this as a potential answer to that could be very useful. Then we also unlocked a new outfit for Jack, and we got the biotic damage upgrade, so that'll give us, whoa, use the research computer of the Normandy to build the upgrade. 60% biotic damage. That is a lot. Wow. Then we got the credits. Looks like we got the full amount of those, so that's good stuff. And then a little bit of EZO as well. Alright, so
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
thank you, Kelly. We got the achievement for finishing that mission. We have a new message. Let's just check our team status here. As we can see, Jack is now loyal, and that means warp ammo is now accessible to us. And as we were saying, that is definitely an ability that we will want to use. Then, other than that, we got the messages. Let's see what it was. To Grunt's Commander. From Shaman Erdnot. That was, remember, the Krogan that basically set us up to, not in a bad way, like, made it possible for us to do Grunt's loyalty mission. The test. The rite of passage. So, I hate these things. But you need to hear this. You're part of Grunt's Krant, and you're his leader. So keep him alive. Here, I have to stay polite, play the role. But our people are dying. Krogan are always valued survival over traditions. If we're going to survive as people, we need your Vatgrun Grunt. Okier was a madman, but he was a madman with a plan, and that's more than most have on this ball of rock. So bring him back from your darned mission. My people need him. And if you all get killed, I'll piss on your graves. Thanks, Shaman. Love to hear from you. Alright, let us talk to Joker before we do anything else. Then, of course, we'll definitely want to check in with Jack, see how she's doing. Hello.
Hey, Commander. Glad we figured out Jack is crazy, because I was really up in the air, just hanging there.
I mean, I suppose you're not wrong about that. Will Jack be any calmer after having finished that mission? We'll have to see. See this? Don't think anything else should have changed here, though.
I assume everything is going well up here?
Good for now.
Yeah.
Fractured my thumb on the
Heard
mute,
this many
but I
times
think I made my
before.
point.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Alright. So let's check in with the rest of the crew here. I mean, at this point, we have finished enough loyalty missions that, I mean, there was a point where it seemed like every time we tried to talk to someone, it was always a, Shepard, make sure you do my loyalty mission. I have something that is at the top of my mind here, and you have not yet addressed it, but we have now done enough of them that we actually do perhaps have other things that people will want to talk to us about.
Shepard, how can I help?
Such as Morden, who last time, well, he treated us to a special song.
Have you got a minute to talk?
Actually, wanted to talk. Medical matters.
Oh?
Aware that mission is dangerous. Different species react differently to stress. Aware
Okay.
you come by a great deal. Have had other species become attracted to me before. Awkward. Not interested.
Oh. He thinks we're hitting on him. You get hit on? I mean, sorry, that's not what we're trying to do.
Wait a minute, Morden. You're just yanking me around, aren't you?
Shocking suggestion. Doctor-patient confidentiality, a sacred trust. Would never dream of mockery. Enjoy yourself while possible, Shepard. We'll be here studying cell reproduction. Much simpler, less alcohol and mood music required.
Oh, Morden. Alright, well, no, Morden, thank you, but we're not interested. Alright, well, interesting nonetheless to at least hear that he thought that we were trying to put on the moves. See, so Jacob is one of those people that currently has a loyalty mission that we've not yet done, so he's probably just gonna say,
I hope we can clear up what's going on with the Gurns back, Commander. Doubt my father's alive after all this time. Was there anything else? Just eager to get going.
no,
We'll talk later.
you have confirmed our theory.
Commander.
Okay. Oh, actually, while we're up here, we might want to look into doing some of that research, because as we were saying, we picked up that sweet biotic damage upgrade, and that is something I'd very much like to get as soon as possible. We cannot yet do this sniper headshot damage upgrade. We need more upgrades before that becomes possible. Armor upgrades, yep, biotic damage, 6 out of 6, the last one. As we said, 60% biotic damage. Standard firmware shipping with biotic amps is designed to work with a variety of alien races and nervous systems. By hacking this firmware to relax built-in safety protocols, more powerful mass effect fields can be generated. Each hack must be done carefully, tuned to the individual's nervous system, or there's risk of nervous system damage, sensation loss, or blindness. Yeah, you know what? That sounds totally fine. What could possibly go wrong, right? All I know is 60% biotic damage is a lot, and that sounds very nice. And at least for us, that means Reeve? Reeve would count? So getting more damage on that would be very helpful. I mean, not technically sure. I was asking this before, but I don't think I've ever confirmed as to whether biotic abilities that technically just have force and not direct damage, such as Shockwave, and I believe Charge falls under that category as well. Does it have any direct damage? No. So the damage is just based on how much force are you hitting them with, and then do you happen to knock them into anything, in which case they'll get damage from that as well, and so the combination of force plus what you get knocked into determines the damage. So because it's sort of a more indirect way of applying damage, does that count? When we do those biotic damage upgrades, does it still apply to biotic charge, and certainly not pull, because pull doesn't have any damage, but does it apply to charge and shockwave, or does it only apply to abilities like Reeve that just have a direct, this is how much damage you are dealing number? I mean, so either way, we at least have Reeve that's benefiting from this, and Reeve has been a very nice addition as of late, so for that alone, it should be worthwhile. I assume nothing else, Kelly? I suppose we did just hear from you very recently. So, let's see. Other than that, let's check down... So, Miranda still has a loyalty mission, so she's probably just going to talk about that. Same with Garrus. Samara may have other things to chat with us about. Same with Kasumi. And then, of course, Jack is down at the bottom level, so we'll get to her in a little bit. Let us see. Kasumi?
People are talking out there, and I hear it all.
I'm sure you do.
I can see why Jack is the way she is. I don't like it, but I get it.
You know, I suppose in some ways, I have the same general reaction or thoughts. Okay.
Not a lot of people go in and out of Dr. Chakwa's office, other than to get medical attention, I mean. I hear you shared a drink with her. That's really nice. I imagine with all that's happened, old friends are becoming a luxury.
Yeah, I think we have heard that one before, though, so I think, you know, Kasumi will occasionally repeat some lines that we've heard from her before, so I think we're probably good there. Then what we were saying, Miranda probably doesn't have anything new to say to us.
The collectors were once Protheans.
Oh.
I always pictured Protheans being regal, not giant bugs.
Who knows what the Reapers did to them? Creepy.
That is true. They do, the collectors at least, certainly seem rather bug-like, but as we learned, they've been genetically modified by the Reapers. You know, to what extent? Do they resemble at all? What's those, the Protheans actually look like? I mean, presumably at least a bit, but I suppose the Protheans may not have been quite as insect-like. Let's see, so then... over here, we have Samara.
Shepard.
How are you?
Perhaps we could speak later. I wish to meditate.
Oh, sorry.
I should go.
Of course.
So, of course, I believe last time we spoke to Samara, we had a somewhat long conversation in which, somewhat similar to the conversation we just had with Morden, in which Morden was saying, Shepard, are you trying to hit on me? Because I'm not interested. Samara said, or maybe it's more, we might have been more so the one in the driving seat there where we could have, perhaps, tried to pursue something with her. But, you know, we said no. We said no. We've got our eyes set on other people, perhaps. Anything from these two? Random crew members? Silence is golden. I agree. So that seems like everything, at least, that we're expecting to get over here. But, of course, bottom level is where Jack is. And, of course, having just finished her loyalty mission, that is one of, if not the top person that we want to make a point of chatting with here. So let's go down now and see what she has to say after all that. What do you say, Jack?
I needed to wipe that place off the map. You took me there to do it, and I owe you. You don't know what it's like, Shepard, to have garbage like that following you. It marks you in ways you don't expect.
I mean, we've run into things, troubling things in the past as well. I mean, we were not enslaved and tortured as a child, but to some extent, I mean, we died. Like, we've gone through some traumatic experiences as well.
I've made a lot of hard choices, Jack. Like what to let go.
Hard to walk away from it. You'd think it would get easier now that the place is a crater. But what else do I know?
I mean, yeah, did it help that we spared Aresh? Again, As to whether Aresh actually survived, I have my doubts, given the size of that explosion and the quickness with which we blew up that place after we let him go. I mean, did he really have time to run outside the radius of that blast? Because I don't think so.
I never thought I'd see you show mercy, but you let Aresh live.
He was trapped in the past, reliving it every day. You showed how that could be me. I'm not getting stuck like that. I'm better than him, and I'm sure as hell not carrying that crater around with me.
Alright, so in that case, does it feel like that's changed you a bit?
Do you think you're different now?
I know that place is gone, but I still kind of want to kill every person I see. No offense.
I mean, I don't know if we really expected that to change, but maybe we were kind of hoping it would.
You sure about this? I want to do whatever I can to get your head on straight.
Don't get all therapist on me, Shepard. You're not the couch type. I hate that stuff anyway. Bullshit, prison, psych. You did me a favor, and that's enough. More than I expected. I'll keep it together.
Alright. So it does sound like Jack is doing better. You know, perhaps is, you know, still the same Jack we've come to know, and that is someone who is still quite violent and impulsive, and that may never change. But, you know, we at least did we settled a score that she felt the need to settle.
Hey.
I am curious to see if there's anything else we can chat with her about now that we have done that mission, though. Perhaps she has a different perspective on some of these other things.
What do you think of Miranda and Jacob?
Jacob doesn't know who he is, but that's not my problem. Miranda's a Cerberus bitch. Knew that before she opened her mouth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she said that last time as well, but the mission as a whole may be that we are further along this time than we were when we last asked her about this, and of course now this is post-loyalty mission as well.
What do you think of our mission?
I know when someone's got murder on their mind. The Collectors are out to kill us. Rather do it to them first.
I think that's new. Anything else we can chat about?
Tell me about you, Jack.
I'm done talking. Come back later.
Alright.
Okay, talk later.
Okay. So, that mission completed. Success. When it comes to Jack's loyalty there, it seems. Other than that, let's see. We also have Grunts, who we've not had for all that long, considering that we only recently brought him out from his pod, and we did complete his loyalty mission soon thereafter, so he may have other things to say.
Shepard.
We've not had much time to talk with you. We even asked you about these things before? I'm not sure if we have.
What are your thoughts about our mission?
We'll push our enemies to the edge of space, then step on their fingers one at a time until the void takes them.
Their fingers, specifically. Okay. I love the specificity. Of all things, why their fingers, I'm not sure. But, okay. Ooh, you switched the order of these things up on me, didn't you? I think? They're messing with my head. So that was what, the mission? What about the Collectors specifically?
Did Okir give you any imprints about the Collectors?
You already know more than he did. Okir's is barely useful. If you fight them, hit them hard the first time.
I think we have heard that one. As for the squad?
What do you think about the crew?
Good bunch if they stay out of my way. Dead bunch if they don't. Train them good if you want to take on Collectors. Some of these aliens are too smooth.
Okay. I assume we already asked you about upgrades?
Anything in your tank imprints that can make use of the resources we found?
Nothing else I can think of. I'm no tech. Enjoy what you got.
I think it was, another source of the... It was either the Krogan Vitality or no, I think it was the shotgun, wasn't it? The Claymore that is only accessible for Grunt. But what about you personally, Grunts? How you feeling post-loyalty mission after having taken down a Thresher Maw?
Just checking in. How you doing?
The hold is too open. Not enough cover. Armor is limited. Warlord Grant would target here to scatter heavy cargo, then focus on engines. That's what tank imprints show about human ships anyway. It's how I learned from the tank. Old pictures where memory is. Like holding a book for a child. Just remember this picture after picture. No help with finding a reason to care.
That's an interesting analogy for it. Any other human imprints that could be useful?
What other human info is floating around in there?
Less than a finger deep to sever your spine.
Oh.
You're soft. Solarians, Asari, all soft. Quarians, not so much. Turians, you have to work the blade, I guess. Don't see much point to it, though.
Pun intended?
Never mind.
Okay. Interesting, particularly about the Quarians, given how they're... I mean, I don't know if that was specifically because of their suits, or if that was because somehow he actually now has knowledge about what Quarians are like underneath the suits, which is not something that many people know about. So, other than that, it seems like you're just very matter-of-fact about all this.
Something must move you. You're as genetically Krogan as you can get.
I see suffering, the dead, and I think weak. I'm supposed to be strong. My guts were grown from thousands more worthy. The dead were weak. If they were strong, I wouldn't be needed. I don't know why Okeer started teaching. When he turned on the tank the first time, I screamed. Weak, pitiful.
And yet, I mean, as we saw, you took down a Thresher Maw. I think it is safe to say you have become strong.
So you started small, but you became what you are. Not everyone gets that chance.
I'm built for strength, but didn't earn it. I just am. Those dead were strong enough to try, even if they lost. The perfect Krogan, ignoring what made me. No strength in that. I'll take another look at what happened to the Krogan. Find a reason to care about it.
Alright. So it does still seem like Grunt is coming to terms with, I mean, bear in mind, it's what, a few days old, technically? At least got out of his pod a few days ago, and sure has been implanted with a whole bunch of memories and pictures and what have you from his time in said pod, but still has little to no just general world experience. 'Cause he's just a baby. He's just a baby Krogan. Anything from you two? Eh? Doesn't seem like it. Alright, Tally is also just gonna ask us about her loyalty mission, right?
Whenever we have time, I've gotten the migrant fleet's location.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll get back to you, Tally.
Maybe later. Okay. So, in that case, I believe we've checked in with everyone that we feel the need to check in with. Oh, unless, I suppose we can see Zaid. And by see Zaid, I mean... see Zaid?
Back for another lesson.
Perhaps.
I've done a lot of crazy things, but I never tried to take on a Thresher Maw on foot before. Standard operating procedure when you get a Thresher Maw is run the hell away. Pick up sticks, move the hell out. Krogan don't know any better, I guess. Still, hell of a fight.
Yeah, that would be interesting, I suppose. We have brought Zaid with us. Can add that one to his list of many somewhat similar accomplishments.
One time we were trying to clear out this gun nest outside a base on Vatar. Nothing we did even made a dent in that thing. Someone had the bright idea to kidnap a local girl, strap grenades on her, and make her go seduce the guy in the bunker. Terrible thing, I tell you. Well, she went up there, knocked on the door, and nothing. Grenades never went off. But the guy stopped shooting, and we snuck by. Never found out what happened.
I think we can guess.
I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
Okay. So now, I believe we've spoken to everyone there is to speak to who might have something new to say. In which case, let's head back up to the CIC.
No messages for you, Commander.
Alright. Thank you, Kelly.